Hey, Dinky-Doo, me hearties! A very good evening to you. Lovely to be with you, and welcome this Saturday night. It's just me, Scottie McClue, and we're popping up just a tiny bit after time tonight because we're getting organised with our beautiful, beautiful Facebook, because so many platforms now wanting Scottie McClue. Robin's joined us as well. Dinky-Doo, Aussie, lovely to have you with us. And welcome, welcome. So nice to be with you tonight. Just amazing. And we've got everybody, of course. Hello, mate. Hello, Aussie. How are you doing tonight? I tell you, 1 minute, absolutely. And here we go. Phil, Dinky-Doo. Thomas, Dinky-Doo. Oliver, Dinky-Doo. Susan, Dinky-Doo. Thomas, so good to have you with us. And a warm, warm welcome, I tell you. Good evening, Scott. You're looking very smart tonight. Are you appearing before the beak? Yes, I'm appearing before you lot. And that's my beak, I tell you. Hi, Topsway. Hey, Dinky-Doo. Hi, Susan. So there we go. Good to have everyone with us. And welcome, 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 I say, to 1 hour of superb, scintillating information, education, and entertainment for not just one nation, but for all the nations of the world. Aiden, Dinky-Doo, Dylan, grow up for goodness sake, or we'll have to say cheerio to you. So there you are, sensible chat on here. Dinky-Doo, Scotty, good to see you're having a busy time these days. Count Murky Largo, busy time doesn't even come close. I hadn't expected the huge reaction that we got from all our Facebookers and all our YouTubers and all our TikTokers. Did you celebrate your 100th birthday recently? No, but I celebrated David Attenborough, so I might do you my David Attenborough one. How do you think the election went? I would have said as predicted. People were asking me for days and days before, just on the QT. I would never have broadcast anything because that's not what we do in that way coming up to elections. But they said, what do you think, Scotty? I said, I think it'll be the SNP. I don't think there's any question of it, because people do love them. And Scotland wants clear of Westminster. And you cannot blame Scotland for wanting clear of Westminster. They should never have got involved in the first place. And for the people that go, oh, better together, better together. No, no, no. Westminster's better with Scotland, clearly, but Scotland is not better with Westminster. And I think that's just a fact of life. There's the wonderful Kareem. How are you, Kareem? Hello. How lovely to see you. Kareem, you must be buzzing. Hopefully we'll get a call from you at some point and we can hear what's happening. So there you go. I'll just see the phones are open for you. There we go. Yep. Get the phones up, I always say. And then we can see what is what. Very, very important. Très important. That's what we say. Now, who else have we got here? Andrew, Dinky-Doo. Are you buzzing, Scotty? I am buzzing. Actually, phone's already, folks. This is just amazing. Right, you're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Dinky-Doo, Scotty.
Oh, Kareem, Dinky-Doo. Well done.
I got through. Brilliant. How are we, Scotty?
We're very well. There's somebody saying, are you a Republican now? I'm just explaining to them. Yeah, even a breath of republicanism and independence is toast. So the anti-monarchists are anti-Scots and anti-independence. Alex says, who do you think will win the old firm tomorrow? Yes, we shall see. Now, Kareem, are you buzzing, La?
I am, yes, and I'm not, to be
right.
honest.
Right.
I do think it was a fantastic victory for fifth term for SNP.
Yes.
Very disappointed, though, that I think I spoke to you a few weeks ago when I spoke about the haunt system.
Yes.
And that's the PR system, the second vote. And, advised to vote somebody else. People ignored that and they only managed to get one. So 2026, they got one. 2021 they got 2, and in 2016 they got 4. So in that part, you've got a lot of people that need to look at themselves in the mirror, because they've let a lot of unionists in through the back door. But that's the system. That's the way it's been.
I would have thought with a system like that, though, the best way to play it is just to put both votes in the same place.
No, because if whatever party has the most constituencies, that's like first past the post.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, got you.
Yeah, they'll be penalised in the second vote.
Right.
Now, a lot of people, let's be honest, a lot of people are quite lazy when it comes to politics, so they don't research. And with a good intention, you'll have a percentage of people out there that will think, oh, yeah, I'll do my both votes. I want SNP to do well. But they don't know the mechanics behind it.
Absolutely.
That's a problem. And I really think, again, quite angry with the SNP, to be honest, advocating that both votes SNP, because it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. No, fair enough. I was just thinking people would take the line of least resistance.
Well, I think, Scottie, a lot of people, although a lot still did your both votes SNP, a lot of people have woken up as well and not went down that route. And you can see that through the Green Party. They now have 15 in the Parliament, and that is an outstanding achievement for the Greens. And
yes,
for the first time, and within the whole Scottish Parliament history, there has now been the most pro-independence MSPs at 73 in total out of 129. So that in itself is an outstanding achievement. It could have been a hell of a lot more if people voted properly in the second vote, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers.
So to get the SNP on an absolute winner, what should people have voted pink and peach?
Basically, the way what the SNP should have been really pushing for is to get that golden 65 through the constituency vote, and then they would have overall majority. They didn't. They went down the route again of both votes, because that's political dominance regardless. You need to remember, every party wants success regardless of the consequences. And for a lot of the voters as well, Scottie, you need to remember a lot of unionists now know how to play the system and the game. So if they are on a lot of social media advocating both votes SNP, a lot of other people like Clark and Seals are going to do that. And the evidence has been there with the last 3 elections, how it doesn't work. So
what about the old OMOV then? One man, one vote?
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. If the elections were done like Westminster, first past the post, then you would be talking at least 60 SNP, and the rest of them would have only have about 2 or 3 at the most.
Right.
You know, but whatever way people are going to disguise it, it is a victory. It is outstanding. It's a 5th term. The Parliament now, within all of its history, has had the most pro-independence MSPs, and we need to move forward now. John Swinney did say that he will be asking again for another referendum, and for 2028. So we'll watch this space, what will happen. I think a lot of people will tell you the answer, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Well, I mean, somebody's just put an interesting thing here. They've said the best way to get independence is to give England a vote, because the English are convinced that Scotland's a burden to them. And if you said to England, yeah, what do you want to vote? They said, bye to the jocks, get them out of here, sweaty socks, all that.
I think there was a poll, you know, they do lots of polls all the time. There was a poll, I think, about a year ago, but the English would vote to keep Scotland. They just want it. Now, if they were to do that poll again, that might be different because of the rise of reform and different fractions within down south. But, you know, at the end of the day, you need to remember we have now all the Celtic nations now have people in charge that want their own constitutional rights.
Well, no wonder. I mean, I saw a lady tonight and she said she was looking after the poor old Prime Minister, if I could call him that, and she was saying the cabinet needs to get together pick a new leader for Labour
Yes.
and not embarrass the present incumbent, just pick a new leader and put that leader in. And I thought afterwards, I looked at the whole thing and I thought, really, for what Labour have done over the last 30, well, when was 1997, 29 years, would they not be better disbanding the party? Because it's been infiltrated with all the money people and the grease and the grabbers and the, do you know what I mean? There's nothing particularly socialist about it. And ordinary people are sitting, you know, up to their necks, over their heads in debt with bills that they're really, really, really struggling to meet. So there's nothing socialist about British politics at the moment, you know, and would they not be better just disbanding, saying, look, Labour was great in the late 1890s, it was great in the 1930s, it was great in 1945, all that stuff. But, you know, after that, maybe even up to 1964, maybe you could squeeze Wilson in. But after that, you know, the game's up, really, isn't it?
Well, if you think, what I don't think they've put a lot of emphasis on this, but Wales have lost Labour, and that's not, have they not been in charge for like about 100 years?
Well, Scotland lost Labour at the devolution referendum, and what I thought, because Scotland had been Labour for years, you know, and also big Tories in Scotland. I mean, to see the Tories doing hardly any business, when you think at one point they were huge. You know, George Younger was the Secretary of State for Scotland, aged 34. And you had, you know, Malcolm Rifkind and all these characters, James Gould and whatever. I could go on. Donald Dewar was Labour, of course, at the time. And politics was very hard fought and hard won. It was always a bit of a rough game, but very hard fought and hard won. So you had all these incredible things going on at the time. Now there's nothing incredible, and it's just the same chat. And when you listen carefully to all the rhetoric, you think, well, that doesn't mean anything. You know, mind you, Mr. Trump is Mr. Politician par excellence, really, you know.
Well, if you look at Labour and Tory, they're two cheeks of the same bottom.
They are, exactly, two cheeks of the same face, as I say. But you know,
more polite version.
Well, no, but they are really, you know. And you think, well, you couldn't get a fag paper between them, as we used to say. You know, from that point of view. So they have been infiltrated to that extent, and they're also old thinking. The Fabians and all these people going way back to the 1890s, to George Bernard Shaw, just a lot of nonsense that's of no use to the modern world. And have you ever seen Remains of the Day? The movie with that fabulous actor in Anthony Hopkins as the butler at the big mansion.
Not sure.
Well, they meet very briefly. They meet to discuss the appeasement side, appeasing Hitler. And of course, that lost. But the American ambassador stands up and he goes, "You're wonderful people, you're English people, European people, Germany, France, Spain, the whole lot. You're great people, you know, but as politicians, this is the time for real politic." Now, that was in the early 30s. The appeasement failed and we went to war with Nazi Germany. But the Germans were there at the conference. You know, I mean, it was imaginary, but all probably going on at the time at the big houses. They were the center, because these palaces that aristocrats had, they doubled up as huge political tools, like the Royal Yacht Britannia. And we've got none of that now. We've nothing impressive. What are we going to do? Invite the Europeans to come and stay in a London hotel, you know?
Well, Do you know what's funny? Like, if you've seen some documentaries, etc. If you go to China just now, if you go to South Korea, if you go to Japan, they are, on that side of the world, they are miles ahead with technology and infrastructure. But when you look closer to home, it's really everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
And we can't keep on like this. Things need to be done. And as I said, the Celtic nations are now all have first ministers that are for independence. It's over to them now. They've got that mandate. They've got the power to do something. Whether or not they do go down that road, that we'll find that out within this term. If we don't, we know what's going to be coming August in 2029, when the general election comes around again, and we'll be honest, with no reform will be sweeping the UK and with their type of politics. Don't need to go into it, but you know what that type of politics is going to hold. And I really think for the Celtic nations, that is going to be disastrous.
But Kareem, the Celtic nations who have got or had a ball and chain round their legs for hundreds of years are the ones that have brought us all the innovation in the world. Poor old England hasn't really invented much. It's all come from the likes of Scotland. Everything that's really advanced thinking. So it would almost be better saying, look, to England, look, we will take you over and run you from Edinburgh, but you will do what you're told. There'll be none of this equal union nonsense. Forget all that. We'll run you from Edinburgh. Let's get the world moving again. We'll go over and talk to Mr. Trump or whoever's in the White House and have a right good yak with them about how we think the world should be.
Well, we need to change the mindset, Scottie. The mindset of people in this country, where more and more people are turning to independence. The polls have clearly shown that. And
they're just thoroughly fed up with it. They're thoroughly fed up with the disaster. They're thoroughly fed up with the U-turns.
Okay. Well, it's
this
is what's down the line to come. This is nothing, Scottie. So we need to do something about this now. We've got too many people like clapping seals, still putting their mindset towards Westminster. It's broken. It's not going to work. It's finished. We now need to make our own path. Equally, you're not going to throw away England because there's too much history. I love going down to England.
Oh, it's beautiful. I get very upset when I see nationalists going, we hate the English and stuff like that. I just don't like that kind of mentality. And that's weakening the nationalist movement.
Yes. Well, thankfully, that's a very small minority. And in any group or any party, you always have those numpties, that are that part of that minority, whatever way their thinking is. But for the vast majority, you've got English people for yes. That's a group in Scotland, and they live here and they promote, they love England naturally, but they want Scotland to be independent.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be interesting times ahead. We'll need to wait and see what's happening. But equally, the Scottish Parliament's funding, the money that we give Westminster and get pennies back, it's being reduced. If people do a quick Google search to see by up to about 2029, the money's going to become less and less and less. That's going to be harder to fund what we have up here.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what's interesting. The arguments that I've had, you'll have seen them online, and people go, oh yeah, but there's a deficit. Now, there can't actually be a deficit because Scotland has no borrowing powers, and so there's no deficit per se. The second Scotland became independent, there would be over 60 billion have to be paid back to Scotland for various bits and pieces, services rendered.
Yeah.
And we're not trading. All the trading goes under the UK. So we're not trading. Once we started trading, that tiny amounts, it would just be washed away.
Yeah. And on top of that, where people as well saying we need Europe. Yeah, we won't be back in Europe, but we can, as I've spoke to you before, make it. There was a referendum tomorrow, Scottie. and Scotland voted yes. Naturally, you're not going to change straight away. That process could take up to about a year. But what could happen tomorrow if it was a yes vote was that we're applying for EFTA. That takes 3 months, and you have movement and trade with Europe, and you're getting all those
We need
benefits.
to get
So
trading with Europe, but I would be wary of going back in hook, line, and sinker because Europe's changed and they also have become unreliable. And that's me being very generous.
Scottie, that is why you would hold a referendum after, once the transition that Scotland's independence doing X, Y, and Z, then you would hold another referendum to the people for the parties to put their argument forward. Do we stay in EFTA where we're getting the benefits of the trade and movement, but we're not tied to the EU, or do we want to go full EU and apply? And it's over to the people to have that discussion and debate. And I think that that's exciting times ahead if we were ever go down that road.
I'll leave you with this one. Rather than waste time with Europe, what about asking the Donald if he wants to buy Scotland?
Well, I think by that time he will be retired and it'll be a new president.
We can always ask the new one.
Yes. Well, look, I think regardless whether you like America or not, they trade with the world, and there's a very big economy there. And for me, it should be America, it should be China, it should be Asia. You should be trading with the world, getting as much money and exporting lots of things to the world.
Remember, America is little Scotland.
Well, we do have history over there as well, Scottie. Listen, very political. I've not spoke to you like this in I don't know how long.
No, but we can do. I mean, you have to be very careful in any public thing with, something like that. But no, we can do now.
Yes. Well, I think it was good that we have, because obviously we just had the election. It's in people's minds and it's fresh. But you're right. Monday comes the hard work again. The Parliament opens, the MSPs will be sworn in, and we need to remember this cost of living. People are hurting, and we need to do something about this.
We do.
We can't just keep dilly-dallying about.
We cannot, and it's so lovely to talk to you. And wisdom as always. Thank you.
Oh, Scottie, have a great week. Thank you for taking my call. Bye now.
Dinky-Doo, sir. There's our Kareem. Excellent call. Very political call. Political with a small p, of course, but a very smart man. As James has just said here, Dinky-Doo, how do you feel about Scottish independence? Well, I used to be a great unionist, but when I've seen what I've seen in the last few years, say from about the 1st of May 1997, I think Scotland should be going it alone, I tell you. There's the wonderful D. Gurley, Dinky-Doo. Stephen, good evening. Maria says good evening. We're looking on the beautiful, beautiful Facebook Live at Glasgow Essentials. Independence as a natural state says, well, we've always been independent. Do you see? That's the whole thing. We've always been independent. There we are. Brainwash this man. Donald doesn't know where Scotland is. That'll be why he's got businesses he runs in Scotland, and his mother was Scottish and all that. So I think you need to get a wee bit of education from Scottie McClue. There we are. That goes a long, long way. Hi, Scottie. Greetings from Neil in Bournemouth, says Bringreed. Hello from Busby, Scottie. We love Busby, James. Judy says, sorry, I was wrong there. This is radio, not a weird show, says Ozzy. No, it's not a weird show. Hiya, Tops, Dinky-Doo. Lovely to have you with us. And greetings, we say. Good call, Kareem, says Susan. It still doesn't mean he can point at it on a map. He comes over and actually travels in it, Beale. So you'll just have to suck it up that you're 100% wrong. Can you bring back Scott FM? I wish we could. Scott FM was Scotland's finest radio hour, but perhaps too powerful for some people. Any memories from Busby? Oh, yes. Yes, I know Busby very, very well indeed. There you are. Sully Boy says, can you see my comments? We can, Sully, yes. Can everybody hear me and see me on YouTube, Facebook, and of course on the TikTok? I say to you. So there we go. Have you ever watched Still Game? Apparently, I was the original inspiration for Still Game, so I'm reliably informed by the Still Gamers. I tell you, Stevie Dinky-Doo, Stevie's telling us how to vote. A wee bit late, Stevie. The election was the other day. Good evening, Mr. McClue from a stunning Derbyshire. Love the Monroes in Scotland. God bless Mr. McClue. And God bless you, Roy Michael. I tell you, audio visuals on YouTube are as good as ever, Scottie. Tops. You're very, very kind. So there we go. We're not going to take the show up with, obviously, non-stop politics, but we can talk a little bit more now that the election has gone. I hope everybody is following at Glasgow Essentials on Facebook. Quite outstanding. We've had 850,000 people have looked at it in the last 28 days. Do you know Billy Connolly? I know of Billy Connolly. Sadly, I don't know Billy personally. I've never met him. But my videos one year did outsell his. I tell you, and he's been around a lot longer than me. I can tell you. Good to see you and hear you. Thank you very much, sheep. Mr. Petty Varma, greetings from Perth, Scottie, the fair city. We love it, Perth. I'm a great fan of Perth, I tell you. I used to love reading the PA. I used to love reading all the local papers when I was touring. Can you say hi to my mum, Doreen? She's a big fan, says Marcus. Marcus, Dinky-Doo. Lovely to have you with us. I hope you've done the right thing and voted for them, Scottie. I trust your judgment. Well, Aaron, your trust is always well placed with Scottie McClue. There we go. I tell you. Bruce is in the USA. I tell you. Now, who else have we got here? No, the Life of Cain. I don't know, and I'm highly unlikely to meet him because I believe he's passed away. So there we have it. Good evening, Scottie, says the wonderful Frank. Frank, good evening to you. I hope all is well with you, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Can everybody on the Facebook tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 that Scottie McClue is live just for you? The way to get independence is to give England a vote. Scottie, were you in the TV show Still Game? Sadly, I wasn't. I wasn't invited into Still Game, but I would have liked a little tiny, just a little cameo role. I tell you. Top says, Billy Connolly once passed me while I was sitting outside a pub in London. Is nowhere near as big a yin as advertised. I would say 5'11" top, so he's the same height as my good self. We'd be well matched for height. We love Billy, though. Great stuff. But he's a big, big man in style. They've been scaremongering the fine people of Scotland for years. 319 years, I think it is. Is that right? Yes, 319 years since we gave up our independence and threw our lot in with that mob and got robbed absolutely blind. I tell you, Ian M has joined us. Dinky-Doo, Ian M, how lovely to have you with us. And a very warm welcome. Has everybody followed on TikTok? Has everybody followed at Glasgow Essentials on the Facebook? Has everybody subscribed to the YouTube channel? What have we got? We've got, do you think we should be independent? Well, Andrew, it's a rhetorical question. There is no reason for Scotland to be attached to the United Kingdom. That was Queen Anne at the jiggery pokery, the skullduggery, and she robbed the place. The only thing is, the guy that started the Bank of England, was it William Patterson? He started the Bank of England, and then he also was, well, he got the blame for the ill-fated Darien scheme. But it was actually King Billy who was a very, very, very bad man. And King Billy pulled his money out of Darien. So that's what happened there. I tell you, 850,000, amazing Frank. It's a Facebook page. I started it just before Christmas. I think the week before Christmas. So what we've been running 5 months, 20 weeks now. We've got 7,000 followers. There should be a lot more, but people are a bit slow about following a page because they follow so much. But they should follow at Glasgow Essentials on Facebook. Who have we got? There's the wonderful Dave Helmsley. Dinky-Doo Dave. They target elderly, vulnerable people, threatening their pensions will be under threat. We see that was a lie. The vow was a misconstrual of the truth. Because the pensions wouldn't have been affected one single bit. So there we are. I don't like politicians misconstruing the truth. I can't say a certain word or I'll get thrown out of the House of Commons if I ever go in. You'll have the speaker. Leave. I'll name you. Leave. All that stuff. People up telling the truth and getting accused of telling a whopper. Hello. V1RO. Is that your code for takeoff? This is Victor 1 Romeo Oscar over. I was sitting, oh yes, I tell you, absolutely now. Lots and lots of messages from you guys. Hold on, guys. Let me see. He's over 80. He would be in his 50s in 1999, so maybe starting to shrink, says Sully Boy. There we are. Are you talking about me? I tell you, Scottie, there's Long John Silver. How lovely to have you. I haven't seen you since my drama days. Good evening, Scottie, says the wonderful Maria. There we go. I tell you. Something came up, slow connection. How can there be a slow connection? I checked the speeds before I came on and they were lightning. Absolute lightning. Stay fabulous, says Zara. You too, Zara. Please give a shout out to my dad's ice cream truck. Yes, we can, Cole. No bother at all. And I think what else we'll do, Cole, if it's okay with you, is just give you a lifetime ban for trying that on. Is that, there we are. That's you. There we are. So bye-bye, Cole. Cole thought he'd be funny, you see, so he had to go. Can everybody shout bye-bye? Dinky-Doo Billy. All right, Sully Boy. Yes, indeed. I thought you were talking about me. Next time you do a live, you should do one outdoors, especially when we have light nights. Well, Frank, I know you should know about media. And you would need special lighting because even a light night wouldn't be enough to light up for the broadcast. Although I've got some very, very good equipment these days. Up the Wombles, Scottie. Oh, John. Yes, who was your favourite Womble? Uncle Bulgaria, Tobermory, the amazing Lord Scottie of Scotland, says Scottmas. So there you are. I tell you. Now, who else have we got? View from the Barrier has just joined us. Dinky-Doo. Guys, remember, if anybody tries to be rude, it's a lifetime ban. So there you have it. I tell you, I never want to risk a lifetime ban, Scottie. That's why I'm never funny in my calls. Tops, you're hilarious in your calls. Absolutely hilarious. And the chances of you getting a lifetime ban are so slim. They're almost as slim as myself. Dinky-Doo, Paisley's watching. Andy Dinky-Doo, Andy Pandy. If you don't laugh, you'll greet John. That's why I do the lives. Because people are needing a wee smile. A wee smile. Thank you to the wonderful Joanna. Dinky-Doo, Joanna Slater. Lovely to see you. I tell you, sounds like a challenge. No, Tups, we explained all that to you, and you've never put a foot wrong. I tell you, used to chat in your Q96 days, says Andy. Oh, that was another great radio station. Guys, there doesn't seem to be any great radio about these days. It's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. I tell you. The Diggers just joined us, Dinky-Doo. Kareem has reposted. Thank you, Kareem. I tell you. Now then. So you see, Frank, if you were outside just now, it would be getting pretty dark for broadcasters. You just see a shadow. There we are. I would take you and demonstrate it to you, but I won't do that for you. Let them know, Dinky-Doo. Kareem sent me a red rose. That's beautiful, Kareem. Colin's there. Dinky-Doo. Colin, how lovely to have you with us. Another fine, fine person. Guys, a lot of you have been with me for 34 years. That's not bad. 34 years. And we do the Saturday nights. Now, who have we got here? Dinky-Doo. Josh says he's a dosser. Are you dossing down, Josh? Poor old Josh, I tell you. There we are, and he dosses down. So that's what we'll do there. There we go. Wonderful. And what's this one here? That's that one. So we'll sort that one. There we go. Okay. And what else have we got there? And then there's that one. Whoo! Never a dull moment here, guys. I tell you. That's that one. I think that's kind of it. There you go. Wonderful. Lovely to have you all with us, I say. Now, who else have we got here? This is always a good one, isn't it? Oh, we love that. That's lovely, that is. Right, I think that should sort that out. I tell you. Get following as you can. There's Great Britain following me. Guys, is everybody following on TikTok? You must get into doing that. We have a radio station now in Port Glasgow. Paul, I am delighted to hear that. I tell you, next time you do a live, says Frank. Oh, yes, we did that with Frank. Absolutely. Scotty, were you at the launch of Q96 launch? I don't think I was at the launch of the original Q96, Paul. So there you go. I came a bit later. I tell you, these radio stations had different incarnations. But it was always a super station, the Paisley station. Paisley people, the buddies are wonderful. They should all get more support for their radio. Scotty, have you not noticed Numpty Heed is AWOL, says Professor Numpty Heed, 1773. I think, Professor Numpty Heed, we should be told why Numpty Heed is AWOL and where he is. So there we are. In fact, I demand we have a call from him to know he still exists. I tell you. Who else have we got here? This is fantastic, guys. Calder Bank here, Dinky-Doo. We're not far from Glasgow, but we share your views. Calder Bank, we love Calder Bank. Good people in Calder Bank, I tell you. Now, who have we got here? Andy Pandy says, long time watcher. So there you go. I tell you, or I think TikTok's telling me he's a long time watcher. So, Numpty, or if you know who he is, I think he should be calling us. That's what I say. A sign of the times, people listening to music on the phones and iPods. Sully boy, I think you're 100% correct. That's why McClue was one of the first people on social media. And I've no doubt I will run out of life before I run out of the ideas for technology. So there you go, just the way things go. But we'll see. we'll give it another 30 years working with the technology, because I was told this would never work. So I'm going to try some of that new stuff with computers. So, that'll never work. And 850,000 in a month. You're watching Scottie McClue and you're live. Who's that?
It's nobody, Scott. I've just had my people on the phone telling me your people want my people to contact me.
They did. I tipped my people the wink. Oh, as you know, these things, need to be sorted out weeks in advance. So
absolutely.
I told my people to talk to your people. So I would think that would be about 3 months ago. So they should have been in touch with you, like maybe yesterday.
Anyway, Scottie, you listening?
See what I did there?
No.
Yes, you did.
I'm watching the football at the same time.
Of course.
Inconveniently talking to you on the phone.
Of course. I chose prime television sport time to do my broadcasts on a Saturday night.
Aye, but you should have made way for the football. Coronation Street normally make way for the football.
Well, they shouldn't. Football should never, ever, ever be on in place of a soap opera. I missed my favourite soap one night because there was some game on.
Well, I'm missing my favourite football because some McClue's on.
Better for you.
Now then, I've got some news, Scottie.
Spill.
All right. There's roadworks coming up on the M9. Can they give you notice on the answer?
Ken.
You want to come when the roadworks are? Just
Ken.
in case you're inconvenienced.
Of course.
The 1st of May 2030.
1st of May 2030, they'll be at the roads.
Seriously, it says roadworks will commence here on the 1st of May 2030. I thought, well, thanks for letting me can. I better let Scottie can.
Oh, listen, I would love to get into that wee room and get on that keyboard.
Of course you would.
Some carry on that. Can you imagine coming over the 4th pig?
Aye. I went to Glencoe yesterday, Scottie.
You're a great man, Numpty. I don't want to tell you that too much in case it swells your head, but I've said it now.
Aye.
And you are a great man. Were you going, do you climb or do you walk?
No, but it ended up as a disaster. Like a film, a movie went wrong.
Should I ask what happened?
Well, the zip on the tent burst for starters.
Oh, did the wind get in?
No.
Did the wind get out?
I was clumsy. It's brand new tent, and what are you going to do? I'm going to burst the zip.
How could you possibly? These zips are unbreakable.
These zips are rubbish, Scottie. Every tent I've had to throw is because of the zips. They keep bursting.
Listen, I used to go camping in tents from the First World War, so don't start me. And they didn't have zips. They had ties. You tied the door shut.
Well, they should bring the tie back. I'm
right.
fed up with tent.
Right, the ties are coming back.
Anyway, listen, Ken, what else happened? The duck enjoyed itself, right? And you know the wildlife.
Love the duck.
We had the owls shooting.
Were they high or low?
Oh, they were nearby, Scottie. They were nearby.
Did you see them flying by? Did they fly by you high or low?
No, it was night time. Oh, by the way, it was -2 when I left this morning at 6 o'clock.
Away?
I froze during the night, Scottie, because my zip was burst. I couldn't
You burst your zip. You'd managed to damage the zip. An unbreakable item on a tent.
And as you can hear, Numpty's not very well. He's still got this tickly throat. But the chest infection seems to be away, Scottie.
You're sounding, you've still got a, what we call in the West Coast, a wee crackle.
No.
You've got a wee crackle.
What else I come across, Scottie?
What did you come across?
Hopefully I never come across it again. It's from Fort William to Glencoe, you get these motocross bikes. They're coming down that main road as if it was a dirt track, Scotty.
Aye.
But here there's signs up saying motorcycle events, so it's been going on for the last 100 years, Scotty.
But the police will still do them if they go speeding on the road.
Aye, but these were like numbered motocross bikes,
Right.
like the dirt trial bikes.
Aye, I can.
And it was the young laddies, Ken. But I mean, they were obviously like some party teams or what. You know, it was obviously an organised event. It wasn't your local hoodlums.
Ken.
But they're flying in that road, Scotty, and we're to beware of these.
I knew with your old Morris 8, you have to watch.
Aye. Now listen, Scotty, I was thinking about the good old days.
Oh, yes.
Right? You ken about the good old days.
The television programme, or just when you and I were wee?
Well, I wasn't around during the good old days, Scotty, so I need to rely on what you tell me.
No problem.
What was good about the good old days, Scotty?
Scottie McClue was on the radio.
No, before that, Scotty, I've heard pensioners say, wasn't it like in the good old days? You know, it was like this.
Oh, I mean,
Oh,
I think
you know what I mean?
maybe a lot of these older folk miss some of the things that were around, like cholera and typhoid and diphtheria and polio, you know.
Aye, but come on, Scotty, when I hear about the good old days, right, all I hear about is tin baths in front of the coal fire.
The tin bath. The miners had the tin bath. You see, there was no bathroom indoor. There was a toilet outside.
Aye, and the wife has to scrub her man's back.
Aye, so what she did was what she did is she boiled up water in a zinc bath. I think it was zinc. And she filled it up, and then he got in, and you know, if he was at the mine, in which your grandfather and all that, she'd scrub his back to the coal dust off him, because the day showers at the pit he'd, and then she would get in herself and have a wee jumpy in, as they called it.
It goes in the dirty water when the water's cold.
When the water's cold and it's full of coal dust, the missus would get in just for a quick swish.
Of course. Now,
A jumpy in.
You didn't have the electric kettle back then.
No, you didn't. You had the whistling kettle.
Aye.
Yeah, a cup of tea.
Aye. Are you biling, Scotty? Are you biling?
You would biling, and you would put it there. You're biling. No, you better go. The tea will be ready.
Anyway, by the way, just before I go, Scotty.
And proper tea, no tea bags. Proper tea in the pot.
Just before I go.
Darjeeling.
Are you listening to me?
Of course, always.
Just before I go, Scotty, right? See, when the journey coming back down 6 o'clock in the morning, roads were quiet, and I got a chance to have a look at the scenery rather than watching the car in front. And I got to see quite a lot that I would like to go and wild camp.
Right.
Because I passed a lot of wild campers, and I could see how easy it is.
And what makes them wild? Just they hadn't realised there was no facilities.
No, they're packed up with their camper van.
Oh, no wild as an angry.
No. But the thing is, Scott, the slightest noises, the dog was barking, and this was like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Ken,
and I thought,
wee dog.
I can't really have that. So
What is it? What is the wee dog? Is he a wee terrier or numpty?
He's a cockapoo.
Oh, is that? Oh, you told me he's a wee cockapoo.
Aye. Anyway.
Fantastic.
We're nearly a year old together, 6th of June.
No. He'll be loving it.
That'll be our first anniversary.
He'll just be thinking you're it and a bit. See, when you were camping, did he snuggle in beside you?
Aye, and the good thing is he recognises the tent as a shelter. That was good, because normally, like, if he's not sure of things, he'll claw away at the corners to get out. But he was really good in the tent.
Aye, great.
But anyway, listen, I'm burning the socks off him.
Yes, you are. Yes, but when's that ever been a problem? That's 34 years of it.
I can. Well,
top man.
I'm trying very hard for this lifetime ban. 34 years later.
We love you too much. If I banned you, Nobody phone again.
Nobody will listen, Scotty.
Dinky-Doo.
Go away to somebody else.
I'm away. There we go. I tell you. Now, what have we got here? Tops Dinky-Doo, come and join us. Now, Whitey says, what is this channel? There we are. I demand an apology, says Mr. Martin 54. An apology? An apology? There we go. What is this channel? What a laugh. Can you imagine somebody asking, what is Scottie McClue's channel? I'm one of the 34-year followers, says Frank. Dinky-Doo, Frank. I tell you, yes, you are. Now, who have we got here? We are very, very, very busy. Dinky-Doo Aiden, has everybody followed us? There we go. Boo, says Tom. Boo, Tom. Hello, pal. How you doing, top man? Says Scottish Tam. There's Aiden. Says Dinky-Doo. We love it. I can tell you, long-time watchers, how were the 1800s? Not too bad. The 1800s, so you're talking the 6 o'clock news and then onwards. I tell you, we're tight for time, guys. What's the time? There we go. Call in to find out. Absolutely. Tops, have you been AWOL tonight? We usually get a wee call. Hello, we called your phone in the 90s. My husband loved talking to Margaret. What a lovely thing to say. We would love talking to him. Hopefully at least another 10 years. I think so. You need McClue in your life. Greetings from Argentina, says Mr. Bourgeois. Mr. Bourgeois, lovely to have you with us from Argentina. I tell you, get following. Buenas tardes. Good evening. Yes, indeed. Buenas noches. I say to you, you are tardes. Yes, but you're also notches as well. Scotty, my man, how have you been, laddie? Says Josh. Josh, we are Dinky-Doo. This is huge. 850,000 people on a Facebook page, Glasgow Essentials. Get yourselves on there, guys, I tell you. Why is Mr. Martin demanding an apology? Joanna, Mr. Martin was demanding an apology because he was very, very, very rude to me, and I responded in kind. I tell you, I told him, I loved the phone-ins on Leicester Sound back in the day, Pete. People don't realise, like, what happened to Scottie McClue? Did he get kicked off? No. We did, we've done 34 years, and we went all over the UK on mainstream, huge market radio when radio was radio. So Scottie McClue, the father of radio, I tell you, after Marconi, of course. Banana Pants says, love you, Scottie. Dinky-Doo, banana. There we have it. Who else have we got? What's your thoughts on reform? Well, we would never comment on a political party. We would never be so base as to do that. I tell you. Now, Spooks, Dinky-Doo, thank you for all the beautiful gifts, guys, on the TikTok. Tremendous stuff. And so lovely to have you with us. Look at every single video, like it, share it, talk about it. Same, get yourselves onto the YouTube channel. 52,000 of you have subscribed. Let's get another 50,000 subscribing. These were big phone-ins in one beat, I tell you. And I don't think there was a corner of the UK that we didn't work in. The old zinc bath, yes. I recognise you from somewhere, absolutely. What's your catchphrase again? Dinky-Doo. Everybody knows a Dinky-Doo. Scotty, can you give my Granddoo a shout out? Yes, Granda. Who's that in the background? Where? So somebody behind me. Oh, Lord Reith the Labrador, and that's his graduation. And there is me to the side. Can you see that? There you go. How's that? Lovely, lovely. I tell you. You and Adrian Allen, they were the days in one peak. Absolutely, Adrian, yes. Been a great show tonight, Scottie, says the wonderful Susan Forrest 5275. Susan Forrest, I thank you very much. Susan, if I'm not much mistaken, you've been with us since the start as well, a long time. Wonderful. We like that. Now, long time watchers. I'm going to have to go soon, guys. It's heartbreaking. Oh, tonight has been an amazing show, and we are so busy. We could probably be on for another 2 hours. Now, who have we got here? Angela, good evening, Scottie. Nice to see you. My MS is bad. I've missed your shows for a week. Yeah, but let's make it strong and well all the time, Angela. Sending you love, sending you energy, taking away as much pain as we can from you, Angela, and making you as well as we can. You all speak good Chinese. Han hao and ni hao. There we are. A nostalgic chat about camping life from the past. Guys, I've got to go. I love you. Night, night. That's our beautiful, beautiful TikTokers had to dash. Good night, everybody. Good night, Susan. Good night, Tops Rahe. Good night, Numpty Heed. Good night, Joanna. Good night, Susan. Sonny Boy. All the rest of it. Tops. Everybody. Scottie McClue saying dinky-doo to every single one of you. Stick out your tongue and say ta-ta. Ta-ta. One more chance. Ta-ta.